What's going on, everybody? It's Colin here with a brand new video about every single thing we know about the new NASCAR 21 video game. The first thing we're going to discuss here is career mode. Now, it's most likely going to be more of the same. However, a couple things you can most likely expect is for them to fix the rival system. Now, one of the most common complaints about the rival system in NASCAR Heat 4 and 5 was the fact that once you got a rival, there was pretty much no way to get rid of them, no matter how clean you drove. And it was also sometimes you get involved in the big one at tracks, and suddenly the whole entire race field would hate you, which was a big problem considering you couldn't make them like you. So that's one of the big things that's most likely going to be fixed. The other complaint that players have commonly had is an inability to spend money in a lot of places. Now, once you spend money on the team, there's not much else you can do. And now, me personally, I found that some of the growth was unrealistic with the amount of money a team could actually make in NASCAR. You'd see people posting videos about how they were making hundreds of millions of dollars a race because they had simulated seasons and things like that. So they're most likely going to fix that, add more elements to ways you can spend money, whether it's on tire upgrades and things like that. You can expect some improvements in the money department. The last thing that I think is most likely to get fixed or implemented is the ability to make custom team names. Now you can only choose certain preset custom team names, which for me personally completely took away the importance of doing that, so I would always just sign with my preferred teams in the Cup, Truck, and Xfinity series. So those are some things you can expect of career mode to be changed, but mostly it's going to be more of the same. The next thing we're going to discuss here are graphics. Now, graphics are the guaranteed slam dunk improvement that we're going to get in the NASCAR 21 video game. They're going to be a major upgrade, and here's why. They're using a new engine. Now, the engine they used on NASCAR Heat 5 was heavily limiting on graphics and features. So with the new engine, they can definitely provide a much better graphical experience in the NASCAR 21 video game, from better shadows to better anti-aliasing, which is what makes you not see a bunch of pixels between the bending and objects in a video game. They can also provide much better textures, probably up them to 4K resolution, and everything like that, providing better FPS. You can expect a graphically much better video game. The comparison I'll make is you can probably expect something in the middle of like F1 2020 and NASCAR Heat 5 graphics. Now, NASCAR Heat 5 wasn't bad graphically, but it had a cartoony effect to it. F1 2020 looks amazing. Now, this is going to be their first game with a new engine building from the ground up, so I'm not going to sit here and pin them on F1 2020 graphics, but you can definitely expect something close to it. So that's something good to look forward to. The next thing we're going to discuss here are physics. Now, for the same reason that graphics are going to most likely be a major upgrade, so are physics, and that is the new engine. With the new engine, they're going to have to rework the physics for the whole game, and they have tons of resources at the disposal, from NASCAR teams to iRacing. They really have their pick of the litter of resources to really replicate the way these cars race in an authentic but still fun manner. Now, NASCAR Heat 5 and the NASCAR Heat franchise, 704 games, motorsports games, none of them are in it for simulation. But, just like Madden, you want to make an authentic experience, so I believe they can replicate physics similar to F1 2020 on accuracy, but not realism to the point that it's not fun at all with this new engine. So I would definitely expect that going forward. You can expect the cars to not drive like they're on rails as much, and you can expect better tire wear, fuel consumption. Maybe you can work better to strategize how you're driving to make your tires last longer. Perhaps wind might affect the cars more. They might break loose in the right places, plow tight in the right places, and have accurate speeds on the track. All of those are things that they will hopefully improve in physics, as with the new engine, there's no excuse to not at least make an improvement. Another thing that's most likely going to at least be improved, if not be the same, are sounds. The reason for this, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this, new engine, new everything. So they're going to be working in sounds back into the game. Now, the sounds in NASCAR Heat 5 were pretty good, but with the new engine, they're going to be able to work more sounds in there, such as wind effects, and you can just really differentiate different situations with different sounds. You can even throw different sounds in for different cars, so they can really make a jump on the sounds department in the game, which could use some tweaking, but they're not too bad. So I'm not going to sit here and say there's going to be a major upgrade on sound, but there's definitely a potential for some improvement. Now we're going to get into the interface of the game. With it being a completely new franchise, NASCAR 21 is no longer sharing the Heat name, you can expect it's probably going to have a completely different interface. Now, I have no documentation that the interface will be changed, but 9 times out of 10, when a game does a massive upgrade of its engine or changes the branding of its game, the interface changes. Now, to those of you who are wondering what the interface of a game is, it's like the menus and the drop-down tabs, everything you use to select options in the game. Whether it's just when you hit start and you have your resume, restart, quit option, you can expect that to be improved in this next iteration to maybe have options to mess with your controller settings, your wheel settings, which is something they very much need to do, and here's why. When you first get into a racing game, on Xbox or whatever, you might be used to the controls of Forza or Project Cars. And when you get into a new racing game, you have to tweak the controls with the controller. The best way to be able to do that is to be in the game. And with NASCAR Heat, the entire franchise actually, not even just Heat 5, you actually couldn't do that. You had to back out of the whole game, reload in. So with the new interface, you should hopefully be able to make those adjustments in-game like you could in NASCAR 15, 14, 13, the game, all those games like that. So that's one thing you can expect an improvement on, but I'm not going to say there's going to be a guaranteed improvement on it, but there is no excuse with a new engine to not improve the basics of a video game. So I'm going to circle back here real quick to career mode once again, just to discuss some of the things I think could happen. So I do believe Truck, Cup, and Xfinity cars will be in the game. However, with them working with the new physics engine, I'm not completely sure if Dirt will make it back in. It most likely will, but I just don't want to say that I'm confident that it definitely will. So I'm not going to sit here and guarantee that Dirt will be back. However, Cup, Truck, and Xfinity will. The reason for this, as I just alluded to, when you make a new physics engine, you have to change everything. And if you remember, the first game was only Cup, the second had Truck and Xfinity. With the larger base of skill that they have with the company, they can definitely do Cup, Truck, and Xfinity in one go, but Dirt is a completely different animal, completely different physics, so it wouldn't surprise me if Dirt wasn't in the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they squeeze it in there either. So anyways guys, in conclusion of this video, this is everything we know in bulk without getting into too much specifics about NASCAR 21, the video game. So just to do a quick run over here, here's everything we discussed for what we can expect for improvements. Career mode, we're expecting more of the same with fixed rivals, money improvements, and custom team names. Graphics, going to be a guaranteed major improvement due to the new graphical engine. Physics, you can also expect some improvements there due to the new engine, which will also affect the physics. They'll have to rewrite in the physics. Sounds, more of the same, perhaps some improvements. Interface, it's going to be different. The question of whether it's going to be better or worse is still up in the air. We'll have to find out. As soon as I know, you'll know. Platforms, you can expect this game on Xbox, Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. There's a potential for it to be on some of the upgraded last-gen consoles, but no guarantee. Cup, Truck, and Xfinity will be in the game. Dirt, not confirmed. We'll see. Won't be surprised if it's there. Won't be surprised if it's not. Most of the improvements are going to be centered in graphics and physics, however. Obviously, the new game, just ditching the NASCAR Heat franchise, and Motorsports.com is invested in the game, new development team. That's everything we know about NASCAR 21, the video game. Sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is a NASCAR racing channel. If you like NASCAR and you like racing, you like this channel. We do iRacing streams, NASCAR videos, NASCAR video game videos. We do a bit of everything here, so be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Guys, thank you very much for joining. Expect more videos about NASCAR 21, the video game, to be coming out in the coming weeks. We'll get into more specifics on every single topic in this video, but I wanted to release one where we discussed everything. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night.